The microbiome clinic is a new concept that actually is not still present in the gastrointestinal department. That is a new kind of laboratory where you can have in the same time presence of a gastroenterologist and of a clinical microbiologist. Why? Why do we have to have a microbiome clinic in our unit, in our hospital? The main reason is the microbiota revolution completely changed our approach to disease, and both in healthy people and in sick people. Basically, the microbiota concept, the microbiota revolution, told us that there are no doubt about the fact that a microbiome demodulation or a microbial dysbiosis is somehow responsible of the development of ulcerative colitis, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson disease, Alzheimer's disease, hepatic encephalopathy, and many other disorders, not only of the gastrointestinal tract. The main problem is that at the moment, the microbiota revolution told us that when the baby is born, the gut is colonized by these miscellaneous of bacteria and virus and yeast that made the microbiome. The microbiome is basically 1 kilo of microbes that take to the human body more than 2 million of genes that work with the 30,000 genes of the human person. All these genes are absolutely crucial for the survival of the person, and somehow they are able to increase inflammation or to increase anti-inflammation, and somehow they educate the immune system. The main issue is that for many reasons, this microbiota could be dysbiotic. You can be dysbiotic since when you are a baby, for example, if you take many antibiotics during the first year of age, or if you go through violence or malnutrition. The issue is that if your immune system is educated in a bad way, the ratio between microbiota and immunity can be quite bad. In these cases, it's quite common that this dysbiotic microbiota can be responsible of disease, for example, ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease. In this case, how the new knowledge on the microbiota can help the physician of the future? No doubt that we need very specialized gastroenterology and microbiologists. They have to know literature, they have to be up to date, they have to know very well the new technology. They have, for example, to know what is a metagenomic map of the microbiota. They have to be able to tell to the patient or to the physician that send you the patient as a microbiome clinic. They have to be able to tell you how often do you have to perform a metagenomic map, or they have to tell you if there is a sense or not at all to assess with a metagenomic map the genes of this person. And they have also to know how it's possible to modulate the microbiome. In particular, they have to know the effect of each single nutrients on the microbiome. For example, they have to tell you, do you have to take beans every day or meat, or can you take cereal, or is it better to take many fruit? How much water do you have to drink? We know that the microbiota is highly sensitive to what we eat. Or, in other cases, the microbiome clinic can tell you what kind of antibiotic do you have to use, for example, to treat a Clostridium difficile infection. Or the microbiome clinic have to tell you, and this is already present medicine, how often do you have to perform a fecal microbiota transplantation if you have a recurrent Clostridium difficile infection. Somehow is a new way to approach diseases. Probably in the future, we will have any kind of specialties that know very well the microbiota. The microbiota will be somehow part of the culture of the pneumologist, of the gynecologist, of the neurologist, of the rheumatologist, and of the gastroenterologist. At the moment, however, still, we don't have all these knowledges in the specialist. So a good way, a good kind of way to proceed is to develop microbiome clinic, and in particular in the Gemelli Hospital we have a highly specialized microbiome clinic that can help physician and patient in order to assess the best way to define and design the microbiome of each person.